Hey, hey, beautiful people. It is January the 17th, 2014 at 11:47 a.m. Definitely not p.m. Had a beautiful, beautiful full moon last night, and uh, one of our first frosts that it wasn't supposed to have a frost last night. Yes, on one side, I checked like 10 weather stations, and most of them said it was supposed to be like 34 to 38 degrees, and I woke up this morning and it was 27 degrees, and luckily it was before sunrise so I could head out to the garden and kind of squirt everything down and keep it from frosting up. Yeah, I might have lost a couple of things, but at least at least didn't lose it all. Oh man, what a beautiful day it's turned out to be in Florida, as it's almost 70 degrees and I'm out here in short sleeve shirts and cutting the pastures, getting ready for springtime. This ascension thing's getting to be a real trip, isn't it? I'm starting to wonder if there's enough popcorn left on planet. Oh man, oh man, oh man. It is truly amazing to watch everything go down, and that snow globe effect, everything getting shaken up and realigning with other things of the same resonant frequency is happening again. And it is truly funny to watch how that happens. It's also amazing to watch all the persons that are just now waking and going through their fear, because that's just part of it. When you geopolitically awake and you look at what's going on in the world and all the chemtrails, they're really painting the skies beautiful today. I mean, got some gorgeous ones too. I'm gonna turn it straight up and see if it can be seen. Well, I don't know how that did, but we'll see later. But people wake up, they really freak out, and that's just part of, our going into our own empowerment and standing in the creator abilities that we truly have. And it's just the path of ascension mastery. We are mastering our ascension. That's what it is. And first you have to see what's going on out there and say no. And then stand up and say, that's not what you wish to create. As you do that, the more you go into learning about what it is to be a creator and learning about what it is to become enlightened or to go down the ascension path, we all realize that we're creating our experience. And we have the choice to create whatever we wish, and we all together create a collective experience. And that part, we're kind of limited in what we can do to change it, other than change our own selves and change the reality that we're walking around in, because really and truly there's 7 billion different universes walking around on this planet. Everybody's got their own, and mine's pretty beautiful. It's very blissful. It does get exciting sometimes, but it's quite interesting to watch how my universe interacts with other persons, and that's really what's going down on the collective level. Is we each are creating our own reality, and those that are really holding the light and have gotten over the fear, gotten over their negativity, cleaned up their magnetics, their karma, and they're just staying in the bliss, which sometimes that goes up and down. Doesn't mean that every day is going to be pinpoint perfect. It's just like yesterday, I was out cutting the pastures here, and it was cold as heck, and I'd let my chicken ladies run out, and as I'm cutting the pastures, Coyote got one of my chicken ladies and took it into Kim's backyard and was having a nice meal for itself. And then I passed by and see the coyote tail going up. It's like, oh, thank you, and gone. And so anyway, it doesn't matter how good of vibrations you hold. There's going to be some things you just don't have control of, and that has to do with everybody and everything else, because it's consciousness. It has its own experience. That does not mean that we have to be so hurt by what goes on by others' decisions. That's what mastery is. That's what's going on right now as this snow globe keeps on getting shaken up. And as it settles back down with those of us that are holding a similar resonant frequency. And those in the lower frequencies in fear, they go down to their level. And those that are going through their magnetics at whatever magnetics they're attracting other things, they go down at that level. And we're doing the same thing in upper levels. And it does not mean that we're not going through our clearings. Man, I'm still going through mine. It'll be nice when that's finally done. But it always seems to have some deep down quantum stuff always coming up that I got to look at and address and deal with. And it's just part of the process. There are some persons getting angry at those of us that are having a really blissful existence because they are not yet there themselves, and they get kind of frustrated at it when we tell them you're creating your own experience. And sometimes I guess people think that might be arrogant, but it's not arrogant. It's just saying, hey, people, check out what you're doing. You're doing this yourself. I had a very dear friend of mine that had a physical encounter here these past days that and she's one of those at the higher end of what's going on planet-wide right now. And I had to say, sister, take a look at what you're doing. You know, everything that happens in our lives happens for a reason. Either we're attracting it as a test, because the Illuminati and Team DARP, they are spiritual drill instructors. And we're going through spiritual boot camp right now. That's what Ascension Mastery is. That's exactly what it is. And we're doing things in a level that's way, 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 way past any of those who came before us. And came before, it's really all of the now. It's ourselves. Oh, man. But any encounters like that, we're doing it. We're creating it. We attract it. We attract it either because that is the thought and the emotion and vibration that we're projecting out there, or it's karmic magnetics that we're having to clean up within ourselves, or it's just a test to see what the heck we're going to do. You know, especially before new initiations, and when you're going up into higher initiations, you'll have tests that come in your way, and see if you're ready to take that next initiation. Are you ready to pass it? Can you get thrown in a confrontational situation without taking your sword out and cutting another guy's head off? You know? Can you say, okay, maybe I need to look and think about what's going on here, and not just fight right off the bat? And I know I've gone through many of those, and I hope I don't go through many more, but it still is occurring. And so there's always reasons for these things that we experience, and usually it's because we're creating it. And still, even the initiations, we create that. We've got to create a test to see if we're ready to go to the next level. You cannot go up to the higher levels of light where, I mean, the higher you go, the more light quotient, more frequency you have within your field, and the more powerful you become. That's what the power is. And that power gets very dense, plastic-like. The light and frequency becomes Play-Doh-like the more you advance in your ascension initiations. And it's when you start feeling that you've got to be very, very careful as to what you think and feel, your emotions, what you're putting your focus to, because we have the ability to really mess up some stuff. And so you really want to, before you start playing with the explosives, you've really got to understand what you're doing with those explosives. and to know what the plan is and know how to hold them, how to use them properly, and not do any damage other than that which you wish to do with your power. And that is very critical. That's why we have ascension initiations, and there's certain levels of the ascension mastery initiations that before you go to that next level of power, you have to be tested on where you're going to hold your focus. Are you still focusing on self in a selfish way? Self-centered is understandable because you're going into 0 point into 0 point, but selfish, there's bring past knots in the initiation where you have got to get rid of the ego and selfishness and be absolutely working for the collective. But then there again, the collective is you, is us. So, and there's nothing we can do about another individual's experience when they because they're creator masters, and if they're having the crap, they're learning how to master the crap. That's what having the crap is all about. Oh man, these chemtrails are beautiful. They are just gorgeous, and it all is perception. Everything you look at, it's all about perception. When I go and look at the oil in the Gulf and all the sheen that's coming up top, I have to look at the beautiful rainbow colors and how pretty the sheen reflects. And it's all in perceptions. It's all in how you see it. Perceptions are frequency. If you look at the same oil sheen and you go, oh my God, they're killing the world. They're going to kill us. Look at all that. Then what you're doing is you're looking at it with a lower vibration than looking at the same oil sheen and going, wow, those rainbow colors are kind of beautiful, and you know, the mirror effects, and especially at the sunset, and how it reflects the blues and the greens and the reds and oranges and golds and everything else at sunset. That's of a higher vibration. Look at it exactly the same picture, and it's just like these chemtrails that are, oh man, they are just gorgeous. Now, granted, yeah, there's all kinds of heavy metals in it. Nuclear byproducts. There's all kinds of things that can harm a human if the human is in fear of it. See, we all agree to whatever we're experiencing, and if you think these things are going to kill you and cause you some disease, and you're agreeing to, by your thoughts and your emotions and your perceptions and your beliefs, you're agreeing to that harming you, then so it will, and it'll do it rather nicely. And then you can just say no and just see it all in a different way. And as we see things in a different way, our whole viewpoint changes, and all the fear, all that anxiety, all the trauma, and those magnetics, because that's all it is, you know, your emotions are magnetic. You neutralize those magnetics, and so you don't attract crap into your life when you can see things in a much more beautiful, simple, and gorgeous heavenly way. Well, sooner or later, we're going to have a great shift. People are calling this the event. The event. Now, I have to say, I see many different events going down. There's the individual stepping on the Ascension Mastery path, literally into your first Ascension initiations, which your fifth Ascension initiation is the activation of the heart chakra and getting it to spin at light speed, and that activates the toroidal field and your Merkaba, and you step into a state of bliss at that point, even though you might still not be out of your head fully and out of those fearful experiences. And but that's when you're really stepping into your true Ascension Mastery initiations, and from there, basically, you're just getting more and more refined, more and more powerful. more of what you choose to manifest by the thought and emotion and intent and how long you can hold that intent, more of that responds in the field and comes into your being much more quickly. And that's a really, really, really cool thing. All you have to do is call forth that which you desire, and it just pops right in. And as long as you're not affecting anybody else, as long as you're not harming anybody else or altering their path. Oh no! That's from the nuclear power plant. Do you hear that? We're under attack. The nuclear power plant's coming down. We're in danger, Will Robinson. We're in danger. Oh, man. You just got to see things in different ways. That means it's 12 o'clock. They say if it goes for longer than 5 seconds, though, run! Oh, what a freaking trip. What a beautiful, beautiful time to be alive and be experiencing all that is going down on planet. Now, back to what I was saying about that snow globe effect. There are a lot of us who are really empowered, who have stepped into higher levels of our enlightenment or ascension initiation processes. And as persons are waking up around planet, we're having to hold the light, as much light and as much focused intent on holding the space for everybody that we possibly can, because you know, so many people out there are going, ah, it's happening again. Getting ready to have another 2-mile high wave coming at us. Nah, that's not going to happen again. Those of us, there's enough of us empowered now that are holding the space that we're not going to have any cataclysms like we had before. And really all that changed by Venus transit in June 2012. We're just holding the space for everybody right now until this event unfolds. And in my news feeds, the event seems to be the topic of conversation, but the event for an individual is when they go through their 5th initiation and they activate their heart chakra and step into that permanent state of bliss. When they have anchored that state, not just activated, because many people find their bliss in their life, but to anchor it means to make it permanent. And to truly step into your 5th initiation, you have to make that permanent. There's no other ifs, ands, or buts. That's just what's going down. And that's one event. There's another event that people are talking about the banking system, about the change of the currency, and also about ET disclosure. Shoot. Those of us who have been in the know for a while, we thought this was going to happen in 2012. And we thought even back in 2009 it would happen in 2012. And it didn't happen in 2012. And these guys keep on prolonging the inevitable collapse of the system. But there's a lot of people in survival mode out there right now. And by keeping on prolonging this eventual collapse, it's just making it more and more intense. And for some persons, then for persons in their bliss, we're learning to call forth just what we need and have all the abundance we need as the rest of the world is falling apart. There's another event, which is a dimensional shift that I truly call the event, the true taking us into new earth. And that's going to depend on the collective of humanity, and they're going through their heart chakra initiation, but on the collective basis. 7 billion people going through this. And when 7 billion people get to that point, we can no longer stay in this reality, 3-4D reality. That's just an impossibility, because in 3 and 4D reality, all this that we experience is just happening to us. And as you activate your heart chakra and you start on your ascension initiation, ascension mastery path, you're taking responsibility for being the creator God that you are, and you realize you're creating your life experience, even though so much crap can be going down crazily around you, but it doesn't happen to you. And when 7 billion of us do that, then we will not be able to remain in this dimensional state of reality in 4D Earth. We've got to shift to 5D Earth. Now that can happen. Butterflies, beautiful butterflies, monarchs. That could happen much sooner. I mean, we could get blasted into it by some asteroid hitting Earth, or a CME popping off and going wham. But I doubt that. That's not what we're here to do. We are all here to go through our own true mastery, learning how creation works. We're all here on Earth at this time learning how to be creator gods, how to master our illusion. It is all an illusion. And it's an illusion that's created by our thoughts, our perceptions, and what we focus our intent upon, and for how long we hold those vibrations, those frequencies. That's what does this. Anyway, oh, what a beautiful day. Man, I just can't get over these chemtrails. They are just absolutely beautiful. And looks like I have a bald eagle up there. Coolio. Bald eagles have been my totem for a while now, and really having a lot of them popping up. Anyway, I'm gonna cut this vid short. I got more pastures to cut, and lots and lots of work to do here on the farm ranch, and get some new plants in the ground. Anyway, that's enough for this video. I looked down, it was 22:02 at that. Anyway, love y'all. Bye for now.